We're back with another Pick'em video. It is Thursday, February 26th in the NBA. We have a 10-game slate, and we're coming off a monster day yesterday. So I'm going to go through my favorite plays once again today. But first, recap of yesterday's video picks. Then we'll hop into the plays for today, and then we'll do a full slate breakdown of all the injury news, projected minutes, and things like that. So if you want to stay tuned for that, you can. But if you do me a favor, hit me the like button. Hit me the like button. Comment something down below. Subscribe if you are new. All those good things going to help YouTube push this video out a little bit more. And let's get into that recap. And we almost go 6-0 yesterday. Jabari Smith Jr. just comes up short. Ends with 12 points. Didn't get to the free throw line. Got to the free throw line a bunch against this team last time. But he ends with 12 points. Shot 50%. It was a blowout. And we reached Shepard 2.5 threes. We would have laddered this on any other given day. We were just in a little bit of a rut here. So I just decided to keep it, conservative and just went to the 2.5 threes. He had 7 threes. So that was a great read overall. Let's talk about every read because it was a bunch of no sweat bets. Scotty Barnes under his rebounds. He had 4. Jokic under his assists. He had 6. Jared Allen double-double. Had that in the third quarter. Ty Jerome PRA 23.5. He had 22 points alone. So really no sweat bets on all of them. Reed Shepard had 7 threes, and then the one miss here was a 0.5 unit play because we had been, 2 guys in the same game on the same team. I knew one of these guys was going to cruise over, and it happened to be Reed Shepard. And again, he dominated this 3-point line. So love seeing the Green up 3.44 units yesterday. They're going to try to ride this momentum into today's video. And again, yesterday's slate was not great. This slate, a whole lot better, 10 games. And way less back-to-backs. So let's hop into the plays for today. And that's going to start with Kawhi Leonard, who is questionable right now, but he's had 4 days rest here, and I would assume he goes out there and plays against the Timberwolves. Again, just because he hasn't played since the 22nd. He hasn't missed any games. They just haven't played since then. So I'm liking Kawhi. Questionable. Hopefully goes out there and plays. If not, no harm, no foul. But 28.5 points for Kawhi, minus 110 on BetMGM right now. And this is a textbook matchup for Kawhi. Obviously, only over in 35% of games, or of the last 20 games. But he looks a whole lot different with his new squad. That's pretty much just him on the offensive side of the ball. Benedict Mathurin kind of also coming to life here. So nice to see another offensive weapon against the Timberwolves. This is a great matchup for Kawhi. Pick and roll ball handling, they rank literally dead last. Transition, free throws, they allow it all. They allow all high usage players to go out there and to get a lot of shots against them, which means they're a team that likes to deny the spot up situations. So any sort of like assist props for a guy like Kawhi, you probably wouldn't want to be attacking the over super heavily, but the scoring here is going to be great because he's going to be taking a lot of these guys one-on-one, and he just played these guys a little bit ago. This is a little bit right after the trade deadline, I believe. Benedict Mathurin didn't play, obviously, in that game, but he had 41 points in this game, and he shot 30 times. So 41 points is great, but I just like the volume there. If he's going to take 30 shots, I think I've got a pretty good chance of him, getting 29-plus points here. Now, there could be some adjustments made by the Timberwolves. That could be absolutely true because the Timberwolves lost that thing by 19 points. But at the same time, Kawhi's volume and usage has just been so good. You can see that's kind of their game plan for everyone. They had KD scored 9 on them. Brandon Ingram had 25 against them. A couple other guys, especially recently, Jeremy Grant had 21. Oubre had 18. So a couple guys just scoring well. Again, I like to see KD and Ingram. They play very similar to a guy like Kawhi. And this is just a really, really good matchup for Kawhi to go out there and cook, and some other spot-up guys that are reliant on that kind of stuff. These spot-up catch-and-shoot situations, they might be a little bit harder to get their overs. So really liking Kawhi here in these easy pick-and-roll ball-handling matchups. Again, Timberwolves ranked dead last in these favorable matchups. Kawhi's averaging 30.7 points per game and has cruised over in the last 4 games. And specifically past the trade deadline, he's absolutely cooking this line. Again, 41 against the Timberwolves and 37 against the Magic. Both these teams bad at defending that pick and roll. And 30 shots in this game, 25 shots in this game. So really, really liking the volume Kawhi gets in these situations. That's the game plan of the Timberwolves. That's how they want it to be. They'll say, hey, we're going to let Kawhi beat us, and everyone else is not going to be a factor here because we're going to lock him down, play one-on-one. But in one-on-one in the NBA usually goes pretty well for the offensive player. So Kawhi, yes, questionable, but with his 4 days of rest, I assume he goes out there and plays. And if he does play, I assume he's 100% because if Kawhi's not 100%, he's not stepping on the floor. So if he doesn't play, that sucks. If he does play, I think we got a great read on the 28.5 points here. This is a perfect transition to our next play, which is going to be Kevin Durant over his 25.5 points. And we talked about the games that Kawhi was going up against bad pick and roll defense. We talked about Kevin Durant playing like him. He had 39 points against the Timberwolves. That's who Kawhi's playing today. And the other team that Kawhi played really well against was the Magic. And that's who Kevin Durant's facing today. The Orlando Magic, perfect matchup for him to get some points. Now, KD's a very dynamic scorer, but he can get to the free throw line, and they allow these high usage type of stats like isolation and pick and roll ball handling. I don't think we have to rely on spot ups as much as we might have to. But KD, I wouldn't label him as a spot up shooter. 16% of his points sure come from there, but again, very dynamic scorer. High usage stuff is that pick and roll, ISO, and free throw type of things, and pull up game, which again the Magic very weak on because they lock in on the catch and shoot guys. They're saying, well, I'll let those high usage players cook. We're not going to let everyone else get involved, and that's the recipe usually on a lot of game days. He hasn't played these guys. Oh no, he did play these guys. He had 35 against them earlier in the year. In the last 2 games, I'm fine with. I think that's why we're getting a little bit of a lower line here. They won this game by 31, and they won against the Jazz by 20. So he didn't have to do much. He rebounded and assisted pretty well in both these games. The last 2 games that were close, Knicks 30 points, Charlotte 35 points. So I'm liking to see that. That's kind of the biggest part of this read. Like if this game can stay close, it's a 2.5 point spread. KD usually cooks in those scenarios, and he's got a great matchup anyway. So even if this does blow out, I think KD might be the biggest reason. Hopefully the Magic don't go out there and smack them around. But in these games that stay close, this is where KD is like needed. Blowout situations, he's not going to put as much effort in. He's going to do some other stuff. But games that stay within 10 points, 70% hit rate, this is where he cooks. And again, perfect matchup against the Magic. So kind of very similar to the Kawhi Leonard play. Is the reason we're going to Kevin Durant here. And I like both these guys, 2 superstars to score the ball. And if you're new around here, like I'm not someone that just goes to the best players every night and just goes to their scoring. Typically I'm finding niche lines and things like that. So it's great to see for, the watcher and the viewer that's going to bet on this game and hopefully, watch this game to just have 2 superstars just, out there hooping and trying to put the ball in the basket. So they're really good plays. They make a whole lot of sense to me, and I think they're fun ones to root for here too. So that's the first 2. And just so don't forget to talk about this at the end of the video, he's also great on back-to-backs, averaging 29.6 points per game and getting 30 plus a whole bunch. And yes, he played yesterday, but it was a 31-point game. He only ended up playing 28 minutes. So back-to-back situation does not affect me here at all in the play. Jumping to play number 3, it's going to be another superstar here, and it's another over, but I'm looking at Bam Adebayo's 3-point line. -105 is the play at 1.5 3-pointers, and he's been hitting this. 65% of games, he's over this, and there was a switch in the season. We've talked about this play in the past. We've gone to this play in the past. There was a switch in the season where Bam decided, I need to start shooting threes, whether that was a team meeting, whether that was Bam going to Eric Spoelstra, whether that was Eric Spoelstra going to Bam Adebayo saying, you need to put the threes up. Because, at one point in the season, he was shooting about 2 3-pointers a game. And then all of a sudden, January 13th comes along and he starts exploding for, many, many more 3-pointers. That's that blue line, 3-pointers attempted. Huge uptick, and it's been pretty good ever since here. So I think they were like, Bam, you need to start shooting threes. You need to spread the floor for us. We know you can hit them. And that's what he's been able to do. So now they get the Philadelphia 76ers. It's a team with Joel Embiid on it. Joel Embiid is probable here. He should be out there and playing. And if you think about Embiid, he's a sluggish dude. He's a big dude. Why not make him uncomfortable, make him cover more ground on the 3-point line with Bam stretching out there a little bit sometimes? And if that does happen, even if Bam's not shooting him right off the bat, it's going to be, moving around Joel Embiid, getting him up and down, maybe moving him move and cover a little bit more ground. And when Embiid doesn't do that, that's when Bam's going to get a wide open 3-point look. Now you can see defensive player to positions or defense to the position on 3-pointers attempted. They're ranked 23rd, and that makes a whole lot of sense with a team with Joel Embiid on it. So going to these matchups, and we can see these favorable type of matchups, he's over in 55% of games. But remember that January 13th game, that's where, with the mystery meeting or Bam talking to Eric Spoelstra, that's when that meeting happens. And January 15th is right here. So if we go ahead and take away those games until, January 15th, he's over this in 70% of them. And you look at the 3-pointers attempt, he's shooting 7 per game in this stretch against these easy defensive positions or defense to the position of that center spot. You can also see centers going over their lines. So great matchup for Bam to shoot the threes. The volume here has been great in these types of matchups. It makes sense against Embiid. And they're also weak to that interior defense. So if he can cook a little bit, get some dunks going, that's going to boost up his confidence, and he should be able to knock down some open threes when he gets them. So I'm liking Bam. Just got to shoot him. If he shoots, 5 or 6, I'm really liking our chances, and hopefully he continue for us. We've cashed this out a few times in the season since that January 13th day. hopefully today is one of those days again. Jumping to the next play, it's going to be more of a niche play, but it's Jaylen Green to grab some rebounds, 3.5 boards, minus 125 price tag. I'm fine paying it because it makes a whole lot of sense for me to him to go over this thing. But the hit rate looks horrible right off the bat. We got to talk about it. A couple of these games, obviously 7 minutes here, 4 minutes here. He kept coming in and then getting hurt. So they started to really, subtract his minutes from when he started to play. 23 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 16 minutes here. Now they're finally starting to creep back up. Now he played 37 minutes in a double overtime game. That was the game he hit the winner. But then he came back down to earth for 22 minutes. Then he was 26 minutes against the Celtics. Now RotoWire is projecting 30 minutes. So I'm going to give him an expected of 23 and 33 minutes. And again, this is what he's done in that much time on the court. But I actually really like this matchup against the Lakers. And I want to just look at all the games he's played 20 to 33 minutes in the past 3 years. You just give him 23 to 33 minutes, he's going to go over 72% of games. He's going over this thing. Even if you drop this down to let's say 28 minutes, say 25 to 28 minutes, he's over this in 78% of games. So if he's going to be right in there, I think he'll probably get more around 28 to 30 minutes. But even 25 to 28 minutes, this is the hit rate. He's just on the court long enough to grab a rebound. He's a high usage guy. Goes out there and grabs a rebound, and then he can run in transition. Let's take a look at what some guys have against this team recently. Donovan Mitchell, another high usage guard, 5 rebounds on 10 rebound chances. I like the chances there, and obviously he went over. James Harden, 14 rebound chances, grabs 7. So I like the numbers there too. Zach LaVine, another guy, 4 rebounds on 9 rebound chances. That tracks to go over a 3.5 line. Even just recently, the hit rate on guards specifically aren't amazing, but the last few guys, Anthony Black, 12 rebound chances, grabbed 4 rebounds. Derek White had 5 rebounds on a 3.5 line. So a lot of these guards have been going over, especially recently. And Jaylen Green without Booker and Brooks, he's going to want that ball to be able to grab and go out and transition, whatever it might be, or, just going to fall into a couple because he's got that much time in the court. Now, again, dating back to last year, he's played these guys a few times. He's gone over in every single game against the Lakers, who obviously look a little bit different. But last year, he had a 9-rebound game. That was against Luka and the Lakers. And he had a 4-rebound game against Luka and the Lakers. So all this numbers track to me. I think the line is low because he's been getting such little time on the court this year. But I think his minutes are, finally starting to break out of that. He's played pretty dang well. He's, the scoring in terms of his scoring has been horrible, but the shot volume has been crazy. 18, 16, 26, and 23 shots. He's going to get shots up. And if he's going to get 26 or so minutes on the court, we're looking at 75% hit rate. So I'm liking this spot. I think it makes sense for the price at minus 125. And I'm running with it. Now we're going to move over to our first under. But if you're watching this video and you're like, dang, I got to try this tool out, you absolutely can. There's a link in the description down below. You get 25% off your first month. It's called Props Madness. And it's the best visual research tool out there, hands down, no questions asked. So definitely check out Props Madness if you are interested in. Very cheap in terms of industry standards. Very fun to use all the filters. And obviously very powerful. But let's take a look at Josh Giddey here. I'm looking at his under 1.5 3-pointers made. Minus 104, so the over is favored right now, which I don't really understand because this dude's pretty much on a minutes limit and has not been making threes very well at all. So yeah, his minutes have been down to 23 to 26 or so minutes. If you go over to RotoWire and check this game out, you can see he's projected for Josh Giddey 28 or less minutes here. And there's a ton of injuries here. We know that. Jaden Ivey and Simon's now out. Patrick Williams, Jalen Smith doubtful. A bunch of guys are now off this team. So, yeah, Josh Giddey's going to have the ball in his hands a decent amount, but I don't think that translates to him jacking up a whole bunch of threes. I mean, last game we saw all these guys out, and he shot 2 threes. He didn't play very well, shot 3 of 11 from the field. 26 minutes, they lose that thing by 32 points. Now they get the Trailblazers here, and it's a horrible matchup for him to knock down threes in terms of above the break. They rank 10th. Pick and roll ball handling, they are very weak. Transition, they're very weak. Free throws, they're very weak. He's got great opportunity to score in other ways. Why would he rely on the 3-pointers when he's not particularly an amazing 3-point shooter? Spot-up situations, they rank 7th. So I don't expect him to get many 3-point opportunities, which obviously wouldn't translate to a lot of makes either. Sure, he might have high usage, but even in these high-usage games, these weak pick-and-roll ball-handling defense games, we go to these fatal matchups. He's gone under in so many straight games, and he's maxing out at 3 3-pointers attempted in a lot of these games. Remember, the minutes shouldn't really be there for him this time around. 22 to 32 minutes. Sure, I think that might even be a little bit too much, but the 3-pointers are not going up, and you need to shoot threes to make threes. So I don't understand what DraftKings is doing here. I'll take the minus 104 on the under for Josh Giddey, and I don't care who's out or who's in. looks great. And look at all look at all the players that play similar to him or positionally not going over their lines. So this one makes a whole lot of sense. Kind of weirdly suspicious in terms of the price, but we'll see. Josh Giddey in the under 1.5. I'm loving it. So that'll do it for us in this one. If you enjoyed the video, like it. If you made some money yesterday, go ahead and like it. Comment something down below. It always tells YouTube to push this video out a little bit more. We're going to go over the recap of today's picks in just a second here, but got to shout out Pickit. If you guys are not on Pickit, it's a free bet tracker for you guys to use. It's no brainer to sign up. When you use my code RichPicks, you get $3 or $100 just by syncing your first sports book. Again, totally free for you guys to sign up and use this platform. It's awesome. It just syncs to your sports books, lets you know if you're winning or losing. Now, some of you might not want to know that, but typically you want to know if you're winning or losing. If you need to change your strategy up, whatever it might be, it lets you know if you're on, better on a platform than another platform, better in a sport and another sport. It gives you a whole bunch of stats that are very interesting. And again, you get $3 or $100 just by signing up using my code. So sign up for Pickit. It's no brainer. So jumping into the recap, we talked about 5 official video picks. They're all 1 unit. So we got 5 units down on the NBA today. And we started with Kawhi Leonard over his 28.5 points. He's questionable, but I like his chances of playing. He's had 4 days of rest. And if he doesn't play, no harm, no foul. Kawhi needs to be tip-top shape to go out there. So if he does play, he should be 100%. Same thing with KD. We talked about both their matchups, very similar here today. And KD over his 25.5 makes a whole lot of sense. Bam to knock down some threes. The volume should be there against Joel Embiid, and you just got to knock him down. Should get around 5 to, hopefully 5 to 7 3-pointers would be great. Jaylen Green over his rebounds line, this just seems too low if he's going to get more time in the court. Minus 125, we'll pay a little juice on that one. And then Josh Giddey under his 1.5 threes. If he shoots 2 or 3, I think that's really the only reason he's going to beat us on this line. The 3-pointers attempted have not been there, and there's a ton of injuries, but his minutes have been a little bit cut. The Bulls are in full tank mode, and they lose every game by like 20 plus. So those are the 5 official video picks. Hopefully you like them. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. And if you don't, let me know in the comments down below too. You don't have to blindly tail me. If it makes sense what I told you, these are just my favorite plays right now. If it makes sense, the breakdown, the analysis, then maybe you want to go to it. But if not, there's no reason to go to it. So now we're going to break down the slate if you want to stay tuned for that. Usually get some leans in there, projected minutes. You want to know who's playing on a back-to-back, all this type of things. So the next 5-10 minutes, we'll be talking about that. And then we'll get you guys out of here. So if that sounds cool, let's do it. So starting with the teams on a back-to-back, we got the Rockets. KD plays very well in back-to-backs anyways. We got the Kings, and we got the San Antonio Spurs. So 3 teams in a back-to-back in a 10-game slate. That's not too bad, and that's why this slate's looking pretty dang good. Charlotte and Indiana is the first game. We got pretty much no one out for Charlotte. Diabate and Miles Bridges are back from their suspensions. This is what we got going on for the projected minutes, and that makes a whole lot of sense. Just keep in mind, Kobe White was going to get acclimated to this team, so the bench rotations might look a little bit different. Just keep that in mind as they kind of insert Kobe White into their lineup here. Indiana, we got a bunch of injuries. Siakam's doubtful. We've seen a whole bunch of guys play weird minutes and things like that. Jarris Walker has been the guy. Ben Shepherd has also been a guy I like to bet on. So a couple guys that stand out to me, but weird one, question marks to Nembhard and things like that. Nesmith out and Siakam out. Weird team to read right now. Miami got Miami and Philadelphia. This is a 2-point spread overall. We already have Bam Adebayo to knock down some threes. That's pretty much my, obviously my favorite lean or play in this game right now. But Tyler Hero's coming back from injury. His minutes are starting to creep back up. On the Philly side of things, obviously no Paul George, but Embiid should be out there playing, which is a good thing for our Bam Adebayo line. Nothing too crazy in terms of this game either, but just pause it on the projected minutes if you want to get a read on any of those guys. Then we got Washington and Atlanta here. A bunch of question marks for their team. Washington, a team that I really just don't bet on unless I have a very good understanding of why. Will Riley to knock down some threes is always a good look. He's projected for the most minutes here, and I don't mind his matchup against Atlanta to do so. On the Atlanta side of things, we got some question marks to some main guys, Jalen Johnson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and of course, Kuminga, who's now going to be projected to play potentially a lot more minutes, but 19 minutes right now with the potential to get more, especially if some of these guys get ruled out. But Kuminga, obviously, great debut. Got out of the traps of the Warriors there, and they set him free, and he played and looked very happy on the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I don't think he's going to drop 27 again, but he played really, really well, and he's got the hot hand off the bench there. San Antonio and Brooklyn. San Antonio, one of those teams on a back-to-back. This is a 12.5-point spread. Just keep that in mind. This Brooklyn team is another one that's just kind of weird to root for or bet on. Nolan Traore can get 15 assists in a game, and then he can have like 2 assists in a game, but he's been pretty dang good. Igor Denham, same kind of thing. He can knock down 5 threes in a game, and then he can shoot 0 for 9. And then Michael Porter Jr., he's going to get the volume at all times. But the San Antonio defense, pretty good overall, to be totally honest. Could be a big Wemby game. I just don't think they have the defensive pressure to swarm a guy like Wemby, like a couple other teams have. That was a great lean on Wemby yesterday when we broke down this game, because we talked about his under, really liked his under, especially if Scotty Barnes played. That's exactly what happened, and Wemby only had like 11 points in that thing. But I don't think that could happen today. This is a back-to-back situation, and it's a blowout, though, so just be really wary of the minutes for the Spurs. If this thing blows out, especially in a back-to-back, they will not play their guys more than like 26 minutes or something. Jumping to the next game, we got the Rockets and the Magic. 2.5 point spread should be a good one. Amen Thompson is questionable. Now we're rooting for KD because we already got his over on this game, and it makes a whole lot of sense. For the Orlando side of things, we've had some big games from a couple guys recently. Desmond Bane obviously has been great. Paolo had a big game recently. Wendell Carter Jr., Anthony Black. It's kind of deciding like who is it going to be, and that's kind of why I just like, hey, KD in a close game, I'll take him in a great matchup. That's all I got for this one. But again, Reed Shepherd and guys like that, they don't have that perfect matchup like they did recently. So even if Reed Shepherd gets the start over Amen Thompson, if he does sit, he's not someone I'm like immediately shooting for to go ahead and get a bunch of points. I don't know why that just popped up. But let's go to Portland and Chicago now. Portland, Drew Holiday is a guy I'm looking at, over some threes, over some points, whatever it might be. No Denny, no Sharp. So Drew Holiday is going to be that main high usage player, I would say. And then Klingan, could be a good spot to grab some boards against a smaller team in Chicago. But Nick Richards is out there, so we'll see what he can do. We already have Giddey's under in this game. It's a 4.5 point spread. Hopefully it's a blowout. And, the Chicago Bulls like getting blown out by pretty much everyone. Portland a little bit weaker here, obviously without 2 of their best players. But we'll see what happens. Chicago trying to lose, obviously. And hopefully that happens again. And Josh Giddey doesn't shoot the threes. If he wants to cook and score some points in other ways, he's got a great matchup to do that against Portland. Then we got Sacramento and the Dallas Mavericks. Now this was, if you could take a 6th play from this video, it would be Klay Thompson to knock down some threes. Coming off the bench here, 25 projected minutes. He should let it fly against a team that sucks overall. I think it might be plus money on the over 2.5 threes. But yeah, really liking that potential for Klay to knock. He could have like a big 3-point game. For some reason, I'm feeling him getting like 5 or 6 threes in this thing. But he almost made it to the video picks. But I'll keep that out of the official plays just because I already went through it. But yeah, he would be a 6 play if anything else. And Sacramento side of things, I mean, it's just so hard to predict this team. Precious Achiuwa has been great. Maxime right now has been great. Just kind of depending on who's going to be getting the more minutes there. They've kind of been splitting. DeRozan's actually been okay in the time he's been getting on the floor. But in any sort of blowout situation, Russell Westbrook and DeMar going to be those first guys to get pulled off the floor. And of course, the injury news for this team, I didn't really mention any of that. Keegan Murray is the best player in this team right now. He's questionable. And for the Dallas Mavericks, Cooper Flagg continues to be out, and PJ Washington's out too. So Klay's going to go in there and get some shots up. I can tell you that. I can't help myself. I'm adding this to the official plays. So hopefully if you stay through the entire video, you're going to see this. Klay Thompson for the 2.5 threes. I just locked this in at minus 111. Looks like it's minus 113 now, but I did just plug it in. But he's going to be on the court with no one out there. I mean, we're going to know PJ Washington, obviously no AD, no Kyrie, no Cooper Flagg. In these games without these guys, he comes on the court, plays about 20 minutes, and jacks up as many threes as he can handle. 10 threes in this last game, 7 threes, 9 threes. The one game he missed, he only shot 3 threes. They lost the thing by 20. But every other game, 11 threes, 13 threes. These are just games without Cooper Flagg. If you look at games without pretty much anyone, let's see games without, I don't know, I guess we'll go to PJ Washington. Still a bunch more threes. So you could ladder this thing up, I think. I'll just take the normal play because, again, this is later on in the video that I'm kind of even pointing this thing out. But Klay Thompson, I'm liking this a whole lot. Makes sense. And great price tag. Weird price tag. Minus 111? What's going on here? So update on the official recap of the video picks. Klay Thompson, and I'm laddering up. Why not? 4.5 threes for plus 420, 5.5 threes for plus 830. I got 0.75 units on the normal play at minus 111 or minus 113. I know it shifted, but I just tracked it in at a minus 111 because that's where I got it. 3/4 units and then 0.15 units on the plus 420, 0.1 units on the plus 830 for 5.5. So really liking this Klay Thompson line. That's the benefit, I guess, of watching the entire video. that's kind of an extra play here. Really, really like that one. Makes a whole lot of sense. He should just come in there, play 20 minutes, and jack up 10 threes. That's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, so I got carried away with the Klay Thompson addition there, but we got the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns, 5.5 point spread in favor of the Lakers here. We are already taking Jaylen Green to get some rebounds. That makes sense to me. Bunch of injuries for these guys, so the projected minutes for the Suns looks like this. Projected minutes for the Lakers, I mean, Luka, LeBron, those guys should all be in there, I believe. Yeah, no one on the injury report other than Rui Hachimura. But the main three guys are going to be in there. Ayton should be in there. Marcus Smart, Rui, probably getting the majority of the minutes in terms of players off the bench. Utah and the Pelicans, these teams both stink. 5-point favorites in terms of the Pelicans because Utah is actively trying to lose games. Lauri Markkanen's now seeing a specialist. He'll probably get shut down for the season. Keontae George also questionable here. If you want to get ahead of any sort of injury news, I'm not sure if they'll play or not, but they probably won't, especially with Lauri Markkanen. You could definitely be looking at a guy like Isaiah Collier. He could have one of those monster games against the Pelicans. That makes a whole lot of sense to me. And then on the Pelicans side of things, I mean, this could be like a huge Zion Williamson game. They're not going to have the size to stop him. I mean, Filipowski's going to try to stop Zion in the paint. I don't really think so. So he could have a great scoring game. But yeah, 5-point spread. Both teams trying to lose pretty much. And no Yves Missi, no Trey Murphy. I like Zion on this side. I like Filipowski. I like Isaiah Collier if you want to try to get ahead of any sort of injury news that might pop up. Then we got Minnesota and the Clippers. We already talked about Kawhi Leonard. I already talked about this game. I'm running out of breath at this point in the video. But here's what we got going on for the game right now. Question marks for Kawhi and John Collins. Hopefully Kawhi goes out there and plays. He's had 4 days rest, so he should be 100%, and I assume he's going to play. But again, if he doesn't hurt us there. And then a guy like Anthony Edwards projected for a whole bunch of minutes in this matchup, and he usually turns up in these types of matchups. But 5.5 points favorites for Minnesota. That does make sense to me, especially with Kawhi being a question mark. But again, I think he plays. So I'm going to show one more time, recap of the video picks. Again, if you stay tuned for the entire video, we had another one. Klay Thompson, really like that play. And we laddered up for a little bit of fun here too. But that will do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Awesome day yesterday. That's what I like to see. Again, smash that like button for me. Give us some good luck, but also tells YouTube to push this video out a little bit more. That and along with commenting. So do all that stuff. Subscribe if you are new. All those good things. If you want access to all my plays and a fun community, there's a link in the description down below for my Discord community. Giving everyone half off if you want to try us out. $10 for your first month. So pretty good deal right there. And also check out Props Madness. Check out Pickett. Those are the few things that I shouted out. Props Madness was a tool I was using all throughout the video. Pickett was the bet tracker that you should absolutely use. Free for you guys to use. And they give a little bit of stuff to you when you sign up using my code. So that'll do it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck with all your plays. We got a big slate and we got a lot of plays out there. 6 units on the day after a big day yesterday. Let's try to do it again. I'll see you guys next one. Bye.